in Saigon Monday morning, Sunday for most of you guys that are kind of back out in the States. But there's like one of the cool things about Vietnam when I come in the mornings, especially to like a big park. This is one of the bigger parks in the city. There's a lot of interesting things that are going on. So like these guys back here, when they get going, they're actually kicking this ball game. You've got people dancing over here. So I'm gonna flip the camera around. You got people dancing. You've got all these kind of workout machines like in the park. You've got these people playing this soccer game. Like this soccer game's like really cool to watch when they're just kicking it back and forth. They're not, you know, they're not having huge rallies. Like I've seen some people here that can just go and go and go. So there's people over here doing like karate, just anything and everything. It's really cool, just kind of like the diversity and the sparsity in the park here. So I'm actually going to go across the street here, and I'm going to be doing some strides. So I did this once before. We'll see how it goes. But I think what I want to do is, I was kind of mentioning, I wanted to do 1 day a week. I want to do like a workout themed kind of crypto live stream. And so the first one I did was on Saturday. I got pretty sore from that actually, and then came down with a little bit of a food illness. That's why I've been offline here recently. But yeah, I think I'm gonna just start it up Monday. So every Monday I'm gonna try to do like a different type of workout. So I've got a pretty extensive background in that area. So I think it would be definitely some value for some people. You know, there's a lot of things that come to mind, you know, when I'm working out. And I don't want to necessarily have that stuff go to waste because my memory is not the greatest. So this is crossing the street in Saigon. Everyone just kind of slows down. Oh, this woman, she's gonna get wrecked. You guys see that? Yeah, that's a crazy little intersection here. But so when I'm kind of getting ready to work out, like I'll kind of pick up the pace a little bit. Like when I'm walking, I'll kind of like move my shoulders around. I'll do a few different types of kind of dynamic movements. So dynamic is kind of like a very active movement. So I never do stretching. I never do stretching before I work out. That was something that I kind of had to change. At least my kind of initial understanding about stretching was a little bit different when I was growing up. So here's the entrance to this place here. This is the stadium. So there's like a little parking area there, so you can park your bike. It's good. There's not as many people here, so a lot of times the stadium is packed. There's all kinds of stuff going on, but looks like it's pretty good for now. So here's like a little bit of a soccer field that they've got, and then this is the main field. And so they're doing some improvements to the grass. And so that's part of it, is they're letting the grass grow back because it was getting beat up here for a while. I'll check on the chat a little bit before I get started. Looks like fun. Is something going on? Is always like that. It's actually the traffic's kind of down. Like I think when I come back, if I come back through that again, you'll see the traffic really picks up a little bit later in the day. Still holding P3D? Nah, I sold a while back. I theorized it was going to come down to 40,000, which is roughly about where it's at. Last time I checked, it was 41,000. So, you know, if you had ETH in there, you're losing value with your ETH and you're not getting much in dividends. So I think it's going to take another project to come out for me to buy back in, or at least rumors about it. So I'm interested, like with that Dividend project they're working on. So this is my workout. You know, if you guys want to do a little bit more warming up, you know, I might recommend it. I typically don't. I typically just kind of take it really light and easy on the first go round. So I'll just kind of show you how it works. So I'm basically just starting with a nice easy jog. And then I just kind of maintain this pace for the length of the field. Real simple, real easy. And then I just walk it back. So I'll do as many of these as my body tells me. So I'll pick up the pace a little bit. You know, if I'm feeling a little bit looser, but yeah, I don't do much kind of like warming up. I just really kind of get into it. Yeah, kind of when I'm warming up, I'll you know, like I'll maybe do like some kicks, you know, kind of kick my legs out, maybe bring my legs back a little bit. I would say I'm gonna do that if I'm gonna like what they call opening up a little bit. If you open up in your sprint, where you're opening up your stride pattern, you're opening up what's referred to as your gait. That stretches kind of your inner core muscles and tendons in a much different way. And so that's where dynamic stretching becomes really important to kind of help loosen up that very hard area to loosen up. I always try to kind of monitor my breath a little bit too. If I'm breathing a little bit harder, give myself a little bit more rest. So, other things we can talk about, like I had a little bit of a short going in. I was thinking that prices of Bitcoin were still going to be a little bit more volatile in the 6,000s, but it's busted out now at about 7,200. So it looks like I'm going to get liquidated on a kind of a big short position that I took. So part of it is a little bit of a learning experience and kind of getting into trading with some of the different positions that I'm taking. So part of what I was doing before was trying to kind of bracket the trades up and down, but if it really breaks out in one direction, essentially your other position, you know, can be in danger. So what I was seeing was a little bit more like kind of sideways action overall in the market, and lately what we've been seeing is kind of a upward trend, and it looks like that may continue for a little while. It's kind of some more positive news coming out of Bitcoin. But one of the things I'm going to be looking to get a little bit more into, and I've talked about it at different times, is getting more into strategizing with a platform like BitMEX, and taking advantage of, you know, certain times in the market where, you know, you have a high likelihood of direction one way or the other in certain trades. I mean, for me, I was just kind of throwing money around. I wouldn't necessarily, I was using a whole lot of information to base what I was doing in some of my trades. I was just kind of experimenting a little bit more at first, but I'm looking to get a little bit more tactical in what I'm trying to put together. Still in the Gandhi contract, yeah. I still got, I think I got 1,000 tokens. So about like an ETH worth. I haven't checked it for a little while. But I've always liked the Gandhi contract. I've liked the multiculturalism, the different languages, openness of the contract, the design is more inviting and friendly than, say, some of the other decentralized apps and kind of this new gaming category that kind of have a little bit of a darker theme to them and kind of appeal to perhaps a different audience. I think the thing I'd like to, talk with some of the development with the Gandhi contract is trying to incorporate maybe another element to it, maybe even a separate contract that feeds in to the Gandhi contract that would be a source of volume, because that seems to be kind of the problem. Is a lot of people are holding their ETH in the Gandhi contract, and that's a good thing to see, but there's not as much volume, which isn't producing as much dividends. But I think one of the things about these types of contracts, and the initial theory that I had, it would be great to kind of set it up as a type of wallet, where you can put some money in and kind of take the money out, and interacting with a decentralized smart contract. I really see that as a very, very innovative way for those particular types of dividend style contracts to kind of go. So I think we're going to start moving in that direction, but it'll be interesting to see. Extra game's not needed, bro. I just wish there was something that was driving some more volume into the contract that would incentivize me to put more money into it, because you're getting better dividend returns. Right now, the contracts that are doing the most volume are producing the most dividend returns. So understand it's not needed, but it kind of is, because otherwise the contract, these types of contracts, can tend to stagnate. And when they stagnate, people maybe get a little skittish, and that's when they get out, and you can see contracts tend to retract. I haven't seen that with the Gandhi contract, which has been really awesome to see. It's been really holding its value over 100 ETH for quite a long time. The liquid has the remedy. I'm glad I'm getting more developers interested in my channel. Maybe I should just focus my channel to appeal to developer types and just say screw everyone else. Because last time I was out here was about a month ago, and I signed up for, well, I guess it might even been longer than that. I signed up for Ivan on Tech's course and dove into it a little bit for about a day or two, and then a little sporadically here or there, but got away from it. I'm not really a developer type. I wouldn't necessarily see myself as ever becoming a real solid developer, but the more and more I can understand some of the concepts and fundamentals of the contract design, the more and more I'm able to kind of communicate and make suggestions on, future platforms, which, with the ease of being able to put some of these platforms into the space, I really see that as a very interesting opportunity. I'm actually talking to one guy here in Vietnam I just met at the LA Token Exchange event, and I really like the idea that he's doing. So let me get this next sprint and I'll tell you guys about it. So the concept and the project this guy that I was working with was talking about was dealing kind of in the life insurance space. So essentially, it's a type of contract that disperses wealth after someone passes, and it had some really interesting technology and development currently behind it, and they were showing it to me. And so I thought it was really, really interesting because from a tax standpoint, you're getting taxed on your income when you make money. You're getting taxed, say you get a lot of money, you're going to buy a property, you're getting taxed on that. If you want to buy something, you're getting taxed, sales tax in many cases. You save up a lot into a retirement fund. You want to take it out when you retire, there's tax on that. And when you pass away, there's still an inheritance tax. So there's taxes kind of all along the way. And from a regulation standpoint, they want to regulate crypto, and that's their revenue model. So, maybe the sales tax, the income tax, some of those ones are going to be harder to regulate. But I think if you can start maybe on the opposite end, which is dealing with, where the crypto gets dispersed when you pass on, and it's also the technology behind that. One of the suggestions that I had is, he was sitting there explaining it to me for about an hour, and it was a really interesting conversation. But I was like, the average person, they may want all of that information, but there's a certain element where you kind of have to break it down and kind of take baby steps. And so one of the things I was talking to him about was creating kind of like an incubator type of platform or game, or however you want to call it, so that people kind of get used to the idea of like turning over cryptocurrency assets to another person. So, there's risks. One of the obvious risks is you're inherently creating like an open-ended backdoor, potentially to someone having access to some of your information, all these different exchanges or wallets or however it may be kind of dispersed in the cryptocurrency space. But they're also going to involve a token. So interesting stuff. So I'm looking forward to working with the guy and kind of seeing where that develops and goes. And he's got a good group of developers in India that are working with him. So I'm excited about that project. There's a few others that I'm kind of looking into, but the main thing when I'm looking at like projects and whatnot, one of my main goals is I want to get into something where I can make money. So some of them, if they don't have necessarily the same kind of income potential, at least initially or something, I may be less inclined to kind of be as interested in some of those, but I'm also interested in the sustainability of certain platforms. So I've been talking about arbitraging enough. That's another one I really want dive into, because, you know, I've been behind the scenes, you know, with those guys. They're very authentic. It's interesting to kind of see how they have things set up, and you know, kind of what it means for the overall space, since they are a very interesting and engaging platform with a large emerging community. So there's a lot of interesting projects. So let me get this next sprint in. I'll check in with the chat a little bit. Seems that ETH is your main coin or focus. Is there a reason why? I've been saying that I want to get disinvested from ETH. It's the most convenient right now for a lot of these applications kind of built on Ethereum. But there's a lot of other ones that are coming up. You're seeing Ethereum Classic, ARC, Tron, you know, EOS at some point, even though I'm not a big fan of EOS. So those platforms will come, I think, right now. Also with Ethereum taking quite a bit of a dump from like 500 a month ago to, like, you know, kind of stagnating at 250 to 300. I'm just holding on to my ETH right now until it comes back up. And I'll diversify a little bit. Like, I want to put some into Lisk. Been talking about that. I think their decentralized exchange is going to be huge. Daily divs is a scam, beware. Yeah, perhaps. There's, you know, crypto is inherently risky. I think there's people behind the scenes that, you know, for the most part, I think are trying to do the community a service. After what has happened with BTC, I've been on the sidelines. I was wondering why it's breathing so hard. Are you able to earn a livable income in crypto right now in Asia? Yeah, it's cheap here. It's super cheap. Like, I don't have that much money in some of these dividend platforms, but the amount of money I'm making, even if it's only like $100, you know, I mean, my apartment's like somewhere between probably about $30 when you include everything a day, you know, with utilities, rent, and all that. Food is cheap. I could, you know, $20 goes a long, long ways. It's hard for me to burn through $20 in food. It's $50. I mean, I don't really spend money on much else. Melting. Trying to lose like 20-30 pounds. I did it before, like 2-3 years ago. Just started eating like crap and put on some weight. And then I was like, all right, fuck this. And I just started working out every day for like 2-3 months. I lost a ton of weight. So that's my plan right now. I just got super sick the other day, or the last few days, and laying in bed quite a bit. So I don't know what I ate, but it wasn't good. Measure calories, yeah. I hate to do that. I just try to eat clean. I've been doing a good job. I mean, I got a cook that's cooking all my meals for me, so I don't even have to think anymore. I just go straight to the fridge and it's nothing but healthy food. and I pay my cook, not, you know, I think I'm gonna end up paying her like less than 200 bucks for the month to cook all my meals for me, like 2-3 times a week. She comes in there like, she's been in there sometimes for like 5-6 hours. She does a hell of a job. You wouldn't kind of find that kind of service in the States. Hell no. People wonder why I live in Asia. Yeah, you got to get out to Cambodia. I have to leave Vietnam every 30 days, or not, no, 60, no, every 90 days, every 3 months. So I'm gonna be looking for some places to take quick trips for visa runs. Most major Asian countries are on my radar. All right, I'm gonna rest up here, and I think I'm gonna do one more sprint. I'll cross the street one more time for you guys because traffic's a lot heavier now. Maybe take a quick walk in the park. Bull run to the end year for Bitcoin. It's easy to be bullish on Bitcoin. It's much harder, you know, to be bearish and wanting to short, as I found out the hard way. But if I truly bought at the damn bottom, or shorted at the bottom, that'd be pretty amazing. But yeah, I could see that, especially with some of the positive news coming out. I think it's been a long time coming. All right, one more, guys. That's a wrap. So if you're looking for a good workout, that's one of the best ones you can do. Get out and run. When you first get into doing this workout, listen to your breath. Make sure you're taking proper rest. Because if you don't, it's how you pull a hamstring or pull a muscle, strain a muscle. And that's gonna put you back, you know, weeks. And it's gonna give you just an all-around bad experience. But great workout. You'd be amazed at what this does to your body. Get out, open up your stride, bringing your elbows back, trying to keep your elbows in close to the side. A common mistake I see is people running sideways. You can't do that. So the hand wants to come right at about eye level. Elbows at 90 degrees. Bringing that elbow straight back. Hand's gonna come right to the hip and come right in front. And that's proper running technique with your arms, with your legs. Same thing kind of applies, is very straight lines. So some people have a tendency to let, you know, their toes kind of point out, or, you know, essentially just, you know, something is out of alignment where they're not pointing straight. So straight, efficient lines with your legs. One of the things I try to focus on is not necessarily like straining and pushing too hard, but actually like increasing the tempo. So So increasing the speed of my turnover, I care more about that than pushing to run hard and fast. If you're pushing to run hard and fast forward and you're not conditioned properly, it's a very, very easy way for you to pull a hamstring. And that's common. If you just start getting into running, you need to run for like a good month or so before you can really open it up and even test the limits of your speed. And I know a lot of people aren't doing that. And, you know, I think that's really, from a workout standpoint, it really manifests itself in a lot of other areas of your body in the form of weakness and dysfunction. All the Vietnamese people are staring at me. That's cool. I need to start by walking farther, just to my fridge and back. Every little bit, opening up your stride. Like, if you can't run, just get out and walk. Start with walking and just get into a rhythm. And then once walking becomes too boring or too easy, you know, you just pick up the pace and you just start with baby steps. And you don't need to do that much. Like, I mean, you guys just saw my workout. I was able to talk to you guys, you know, still have my breath. I don't know how many sprints I did, you know, maybe around like 8 or 10 or something. And that was a good workout. The gauntlet of crossing the streets in Vietnam. Yeah. Well, like, look at all this traffic coming. I mean, it's just like masses and masses of bikes. It was like this first wave. So, but that's the sidewalk. Cross at your own peril. And don't get hit by a bus. What's a 10x, Chris? Oh, my phone's getting all out of whack. Oh, the traffic. Any new good potential projects? I've been looking into some. The only one is kind of the one I just mentioned, but that's not really like an immediate like return on investment contract. I was looking into fair DAP, I can't remember the name of it, but it's the gambling one that's like really high. And it's kind of interesting to see, some of the, get out of the way here. No, not Fun Fair. It was, I forget the name of it. It was like Fair DAP or something. Like Fair DAP or, it was like, it was like basically when you got in, if you got in early, it was kind of paying out people that got in the earliest to that, and with like volume in the contract, as it went over certain milestones, like I guess some of those capital releases would be returned back to you, and it was all in the form of a smart contract. So it was interesting because it's kind of new, but I'm still waiting on that one. But it's got quite a bit of daily active users. Yeah, I know about Vices. I asked them, I was talking about Vices as far as like, how it scales in a place like here, because it's a different as you saw, it's just all motorbikes. So Vices is for cars, and it's, I guess, you know, its main focus and aim right now is kind of in that genre. You know, once they start getting into like, you know, if they start getting into mopeds, you know, motorcycles, they got to start getting into like, you know, RVs and boats and all kinds of stuff, you know, potentially, which I guess they could, but I think we're trying to maintain our focus on cars. So, you know, cars are a little bit different here in Vietnam. They're like 2.5 times what a normal car would be. So, geez, I would think it might actually be better to buy a car in like Cambodia and like somehow have it enter the country and you know, pay the import tax or something. I don't know how that would work. 57 ETH in the pool. Oh, Dropple's another one. Yeah, I haven't checked in my drop account in a while. So that's why Kung Fu was invented, to jump and flip out in the way of Saigon traffic. Yeah, Dropple drop. So I'm in Dropple. I only have like 1,000 in Dropple. I've been wanting to get more invested in there. I think I might bump that up to somewhere between 5 and 10 grand here pretty soon, because it's consistent. And you know, I like the layout of it. So, all right, I'm sweating up a storm here. So that's my workout. Let me know what you guys think. I know I got quite a bit of dislikes on my last workout video, so I don't really care though. I'm gonna keep doing them on Monday, whether you guys like it or not. Because people are getting inspired by it. Inspires me. So I'll probably do like weights next time. So I'll try to like flip it up, you know, be on the field one day or outside another day doing something else, just trying to mix it up. Maybe I'll get in here and do some badminton one of these days. School up one of these kids, huh? All right, guys, catch you on the next one.